So today we're going to talk about A, why I was suspended, B, what I did to get my account back again, and C, what you can do to avoid this or get your account reinstated yourself if you've done something similar. All right, guys, welcome to the video. So today we're going to talk about product review manipulation suspensions specifically. So if that pertains to you or you're a private label seller and you just want to potentially avoid this because it could happen to you, I promise you that, you're going to want to watch today's video because it's really going to help you out. However, if you've been suspended for an inauthentic product or anything along those lines, I actually did an entire other video on that that's really going to help you out to avoid and get your account back if that's happened to you already. And so you can check the description if that's you. It'll be the first link in the description. I'll link that right there for you so you can check that out and it can help you out there. But specifically today, we're going to talk about the product review manipulation suspension and what I did to A, trigger that, and B, what I did to get my account reinstated and how I essentially went about getting that done. Now, before we get into the specifics of this and we talk about, the action steps to take, I want to talk about taking a deep breath. Listen, I get it. This is my third time being suspended, like I said, second time in the past 2 months. Now, this is a completely different account. This is my private label account. My retail arbitrage account was the one suspended about 2 months ago. However, I get that it can be, frustrating. They have about, I think it's like $4,000 worth of my money that's about to be released to me later today. So I'm excited about that, but it's not a good feeling. A, you can't sell on Amazon. So, that could be your livelihood in a lot of ways. B, they hold your money. And C, they obviously hold your inventory if you have, thousands of dollars worth of inventory in your, in Amazon warehouses. So it can be a very frustrating thing. You want to lash back out at somebody, and I get that. However, take a couple deep breaths. Don't respond right away. Watch this video, you're in the right place, and we're gonna get your account back, I promise you that. However, if you haven't been suspended and you are a private labeler, you're gonna wanna watch this to avoid these mistakes so that you don't do them yourself, and obviously this doesn't happen to you. So as always, I'm here in the trenches taking grenades for you guys to help you out so you can learn from my mistakes so you don't have to make them yourself. But I do want to talk about that today because it's important to keep in mind that when you do file a plan of action or you respond to anything like this, you're not responding to Amazon. Keep that in mind. Amazon is not out there to get you. You're responding to somebody on the other side of the computer, most of the time in India, that's just trying to get through their quota and trying to make sure that you're a legitimate business and trying to make sure that you've taken the right steps to ensure that this doesn't happen again and so that they can reinstate you. If you prove all that to them, you have a better chance of getting reinstated, so keep that in mind. Now, into the specifics of this, I'm going to keep this as short as possible. We're not going to go through the entirety of the whole email. However, like I said, I'll let you know how you can get the plan of action later on in the video, so stay tuned. So, this is the email that I received from Amazon about a week ago. Now, I wasn't as lucky as the first time. The first time they responded to me almost instantly, and I got my account back up within a day. This, however, took me about a week and a half roughly. It says a week here. It was probably about a week and a half. It's the 6th. So yeah, it's been a little bit over that. So it was on the 6th. Wow, so it's been almost 2 weeks then. So this is the one that I got. Basically, first and foremost, it's important to understand what you did wrong. You read this email in depth because this is going to tell you what you did wrong. And it's important to pay attention to the verbiage that Amazon uses to tell you what you did wrong, and B, what you can do to appeal and get your account back. So what did I do wrong? Because you manipulated product reviews, you currently may not sell on Amazon.com. What I did wrong. I manipulated product reviews. Now, if you haven't manipulated product reviews or you're being accused of something that you did not do, that's something else in its entirety, and make sure that you drop a comment down below and ask me about that, and I'll definitely, give you my best advice and best opinion on how to, obviously move forward, because you don't want to admit to something you didn't do if you didn't do it. However, in my experience, 99.9% of the time, if Amazon suspends you for something, it's probably because you did something wrong. So first things first, identify what you did wrong and what they're telling you that you did wrong. I specifically manipulated product reviews, which I definitely did. So what can I do then to figure out how I can get my account reinstated? Well, to appeal, I have to reply to this message with the following. Basically what I'm telling you to do is what they tell you to respond with, literally spit that stuff back to them with what you did wrong. And you're going to literally just regurgitate that information to them because that's what they want to hear. And finally, the plan of action, the description of the steps you've taken. Okay, so we know that I manipulated product reviews. how did I manipulate product reviews and how did they catch me? I sent out emails that were kind of gray area. Now, I don't know specifically if this is what's suspending me, but if this is you and you've sent out mass emails, this is how you're going to respond. So I literally regurgitated the exact email I sent, and I said, on specific date, I sent out the following email to customers that violated the policy, blah, blah, blah. Then I said, for another one, I did the same exact thing. When you're an entrepreneur, you're always going to have to take risks, and that's one of those gray lines that you're going to have to walk if you want reviews. So you want to avoid, obviously asking for, positive reviews or positive feedback. You can ask for reviews, you can ask for feedback, but you can't solicit simply positive feedback or positive reviews. And that's where I went wrong. These kind of skew that line a little bit. And so that's why I sent them in, just to make sure. So A, if you have a question about this, let me know in the comments. And B, if you think that you're even on the line and you've been popped for this, just own up to it. It's not going to hurt you at all. That's what Amazon wants. They just want you to own your mistake. I talk about posting in Facebook groups and soliciting positive feedback there. Now, it's important to keep in mind you can still do that for sure. I've done that literally thousands of times, not thousands, but probably hundreds of times, and had no issues whatsoever except one issue. And that was this time and this person. So somebody essentially dimed me out in one of those, and that's how I got caught. So what did I do? I figured out which person it was by basically literally running back every single person and checking on their review account. It took me forever. I don't wish that upon anybody. And I finally found one person whose account was no longer up. Their review account was no longer up. And that's how I knew that person was the person that dimed me out. Because what happened typically is they got this email from Amazon on their buyer account noting that their account was suspended. And they got the same, to appeal to this, you need to provide all these things. And so what did they do? They provided contact information or identifying information of me because I solicited positive reviews from them. So what did I do? I had to list, who that person was basically, and that's how I knew who they were. So I sent in a message, the Facebook Messenger conversation that I had with them, and I also sent in a picture of the PayPal snippet that I sent to them to obviously pay them for their service or their review. So that's basically the two ways that I did wrong, and I got popped for this. It's important to keep in mind. The fine line that you walk when you send out emails, that's the first place you're going to want to look. So your email software that basically, auto responds when people go through the process of buying from you. Check those, make sure that you're not walking the line with that. If you are, just own up to it. And even if you feel like you didn't do anything wrong and it's kind of walking that line, I suggest owning up to it just to, basically, you want to, just like I said, Amazon wants to see that you're admitting your mistakes and you understand what's wrong with it. However, if you posted in a Facebook group, soliciting positive feedback, that's fine to a certain extent. Just keep in mind that there's a risk involved with that because you don't know who you're always dealing with. Now, like I said, I've done this hundreds of times, only had a problem once, and that was with this specific review group right here that I listed in this plan of action. If you're in this review group, get out. Get out because I gave this to Amazon. Obviously, I had to get my account back. And so I'm not saying that they're in this group or anything like that, but obviously they know about it. Just one that you want to avoid for sure. So avoid this one right here, US, UK, Canada, online product test coupons, discount deals. But you still technically can get reviews and solicit reviews from Facebook if that's what you're doing. However, I don't suggest it if you can avoid that route, simply because, like I said, you don't know any of these people. So if you can solicit reviews basically from friends and family, it's better to get 5 reviews of people that you know of and rank your product slowly than it is to get 50 of people that you don't know from a Facebook group just because it's easy and then have this potentially, come back and bite you in the butt. This is the plan of action. Obviously, you want to regurgitate all the stuff that they literally said to you, like I said before. So that's what I did here, contact information, identifying information, documentation, blah, blah, blah. Then finally, the plan of action. And the first part of your plan of action is immediate corrective actions that you took. So what have you done immediately right now to, basically take this out of your business model entirely? These are the 2 most important things in your plan of action are going to be what you've done immediately to, basically take this out of your business, and B, corrective long-term actions, changes to your business to prevent this in the future. So what have you done now and what are you doing to prevent it in the future? 2 things that Amazon cares the most about.